So Canadian Prepper and I did a video on my front gate and homestead security. I hope it was helpful for everyone. But we didn't get much into the alert systems that you can set up with all your radio communications and even get notified by cell phone. So today I'll quickly take you through that. So this mighty mess of stuff here, this is just some of it, but essentially any sort of motion sensor system or the electromagnetic system that you can get, and there's various different brands, all come with a home-based chime, whether it's this cheap one or this better quality Dakota Alert, it's called. So the Dakota Alert, it's a little more expensive. It was double the price of the Mighty Mule that I was looking at, but it had better range, better reviews. It doesn't screw up at all. And because we got so many false alarms with our motion sensor system, we don't always have that on because it gets really annoying when a deer passes, you know, out in the country, or a rabbit or a bird sits on the post by it, or one of them or whatever. So the Dakota Alert one that just detects vehicles is kind of our main first one that we talked about in that video. So this is the Dakota Chime receiver, and simply, this is the easiest way to do it. Setting up any receiver you get that has a chime, expensive, non-expensive, setting it up next to your radio, whether it's on the CB system, whether it's the ham system, whether it's the FRS two-way radio system. You can even, okay, this first one had two motion sensors and the chime, and it was literally like $50 off of Amazon many years ago. These two-way radios I got for the kids. It was $36 for 3 of them. So the kids can, you know, leave them outside. I don't really care. They can beat them up, throw them around. I'll just get new ones just for training them. You keep lookout for the front gate. If someone shows up, you tell Dada. And then, because I can't have nice things, I always wreck everything. Just a, you know, relatively inexpensive but decent two-way radio. So the ham radio, you need a license for, so I don't want the kids using that or anything. But the ham radio, you can set it to the FRS frequency. So that is our frequency for our operation out here. The ham transmits with the free FRS frequency that goes to our other hams, as well as our two-way radios. Now, I had initially had CB radio system out here. I ended up changing that because I wanted to get the kids involved, and two-way radios are cheap, and I really like the Baofeng ham radios. So I'm not going to use this, but setting these radios up with the voice-activated microphone, or just, it's called VOX. This $10 radio has it. This $20 radio has it. This $60 radio has it. Almost all radios have it. You know, before you buy whatever you're going to use, just make sure it has that VOX voice activated.
Confirm.
Simply place it next to any chime, this one or this one, in a nice quiet place in your home, shop, building, is the simplest way to do it. When any chime goes off, and it's a specific chime, so each one of our sensors has a specific ring, and we just kind of memorize it over time, right? So here's the Dakota Alert one. When I just turned the radios off so you can't see my channels, but when that loud noise goes next to the radio that's on VOX, it picks up that sound and it transmits it on whatever frequency. So transmitting it from this ham radio that's using the free FRS frequency transmits it to our other hams and the kids' radio, my out in the field radio or the wife's radio, at all of our base stations. So in the house we have 2 radios always on, constantly charged. In the shop I have 3. In the office I have 1. In the greenhouse I have 1. And then our base stations with radios that anybody can carry if they're leaving any of the buildings or anything, or working outside. So yeah, it's literally that simple. So if you want to start, $50 or so, maybe a little more now, you can get a cheap motion sensor thing, whether it's just for your house or small acreage or you want to experiment. This is maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks, at least when I got it. And 4 sensors on there. I think the Dakota Alert can have 16. And a $12 radio, you can literally duct tape these 2 together, put this on that VOX, and boom, that's all you need. Now, what I did with the Dakota Alert more permanently is I dug into it and I hardwired my own microphone that can plug directly into my good radio here to make sure it gets a perfectly clear signal. Direct instead of just, you know, the sound off of this. It's hardwired into the speaker system of this. Okay, here's another cool thing. So we didn't even talk about, but the Dakota Alert, what I like about it is it has relays. So always closed, always open, and in the back of it you have all these relays you can play around with. So you can do an external speaker siren alarm, a really loud one. But what I did is I got this Wi-Fi. This sends me an instant text message and or email to any phone that I want. So as soon as our Dakota Alert alarms go off, so especially the first driveway one that only detects vehicles and never gets false alarms, that relay, I think it's always closed, and when it hits open, it goes to this. This little gadget is connected to our Wi-Fi. Within seconds, I get a text message on my phone, and my wife gets a text message. So we're notified even when we're, you know, miles away, or you could even be notified if you're in another country almost immediately by text message and email. So that is another cool feature, because the Dakota Alert has these simple relays for it that the cheap system won't have. Yeah, so you can literally have this chime here and send the signal through ham radio, two-way radio, CB radio, all at the same time, whatever you want, whether it's, you know, expensive or cheap. There's many different options. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. It's simpler than you probably thought it was. So, good luck to you. All right, I hope that was helpful. Thanks. And you can buy additional chimes, but with the radio system and base stations, that eliminates you having to spend money on additional chime alerts. And the other bonus is you're not carrying around some mobile chime thing that just lets you notify everybody at your homestead or farm or place of business or whatever. Can also communicate on the same thing that's giving you the alerts. So it's double duty. You spend the money on radios and charging base stations. And it's very simple to hook this all up to a 12-volt system with a little solar panel and stuff like that for off-grid type scenarios as well. But really, you could make it as simple or as complicated as you want, and simpler is usually better. This also, you can integrate multiple brands, multiple chime alert systems, all with your existing radios, and pick whatever radio you want. Pick all the radios. If you use CB somewhere and two-way radios, it's highly customizable, super simple. It's not as complicated as you probably thought. Now head on over to Canadian Prepper's YouTube channel. We had a blast making this video about homestead security, including communications. So check that out. You won't regret it. Thanks again.